Good morning, TikTok Nation, YouTube Nation, scrappers, scrapettes, and scrapazoids everywhere. Your old buddy Scrappy D. It is Thursday. It is March 19th. It is St. Joseph's Day. And for this girl, it's her adoption day. I'm going to celebrate by working on computers. Doesn't this sound like fun? I have 2 boxes of computer boards going out the board sort. And I wanted to address this box before it leaves. This is an iCore board. You can tell by this, and I know a lot of you who have been on the channel for a while, you guys know this already, but we have new people in the house too who, need our advice. So I've got a pretty good box here. I think I'm going to add 3 or 4 more boards over here just to top it off. But I've got 2 big boxes of dual socket motherboards. We'll get this topped off and sent out, so hopefully I can get a good paycheck next week. But I wanted to talk about these iCore boards before they all leave. You can tell an iCore board by this very distinctive arm. The chip is the only thing really of any value on this board to a board buyer. I buy them really cheap right now because there are no chips on it. This chip here, you'll get if you're lucky. And where's the flip chip? There's a flip chip here. These you can't remove without destroying them, so there's really no point. There's just very little of value here to somebody who's looking to pick the board for gold. There's nothing here. If you're lucky enough to get the chip, hallelujah, you got a chip with a bit more gold. I'm finding now as I resell these, so you want to handle these really carefully. Matter of fact, if you leave them on the board, it's better for them. Anything after I3 is pretty much just scrap at this point. So they're very low grade, and I'm in a fuss with one of my board buyers. Well, he's in the fuss. I'm not in the fuss because I know what I'm doing, and he's still learning as far as I'm concerned. And I went through the boards with him. I went through the entire load with him. I said, I'm going to tell you, these are a lower quality board. As a matter of fact, I gave him a break on the price. I gave him a 50 cent off a pound break on the price because that's how disgusted I am with these boards. You'll find them in gaming computers. You'll find them in Dell Optiplexes, Lenovo. But a lot of the computers that are now upgrading up to Windows 11 can't accommodate a fast enough CPU. So they're getting disposed of. So you got to find your value where you can. And what I said to him, I said, there's not a lot in the way of chips on the board per se. Your value is going to be selling to a refiner who will shred this board. They're going to get gold here. They'll get gold here. It's not as good as it used to be, for sure. There's gold here. So there's some gold in the board, but it's got to be recovered through refining. There's nothing really to pick off of this board for us home gamers. So that's the problem with the iCore boards. I know BoardSort's paying $250 for them right now, and I'll tell you that, frankly, it's a gift. I've seen them selling it for as low as 75 cents a pound. So don't take anything off here. There's just nothing to take off. Don't take the ICs. Leave it be. Let your board buyer get something out of the deal. And I did. So, he's gonna find it out the same way I did. You're just gonna have to do your research, do your homework, and make sure you know what you're buying. I didn't cheat him. I was very honest with him. Matter of fact, I said these iCore boards are crap. I'll sell them to you for $1 a pound. And I told them they're not high quality. If you're sending it to a refiner who's going to shred it, yes, you're fine. But if you're buying it for gold recovery at your personal business, you're not going to find it. There's some here. That's about it. Even the back, there's just nothing. There's nothing. It's a nothing burger board. So that's the story with the iCore boards. You just have to have a lot of them if you're going to ship them out there. There's just no value to them, except through a refiner who's going to put it through a shredding machine and get the copper and gold and what else is in the board. They're just not of any quality. So I'm going to be doing a series on all of the different boards. Let me assess that. They're okay if you're going to get them refined and put through a shredder. If somebody who is buying them is going to do that, fine. But if you're selling to somebody for gold recovery, there's just not a lot there. You get a little copper here. You might get some gold here, here. Not a lot. It's not the board to sell to somebody who's looking for gold refining. I don't even put these in my boxes that I sell. I don't sell iCore boards. I sell iCore chips. But anything after iCore 5 at this point is starting to get outdated. Nobody even wants them. They're $2 if you're lucky. So that's my take on iCore boards. I've got a box going out today. I've got 2 boxes of dual socket motherboards going out today. And I'm just going to try to address these boards a little bit more for our new people. Yeah, you guys have been doing this for a while. We all know. But old Scrappy D's a teacher. So even this, you want to make sure you leave this on. There's a little bit of gold there. You know, try to do your buyer a solid, huh? It's really hard when your buyer doesn't know what he's doing, isn't it? Terrible thing to say. You own a business and you don't know what you're doing. You should hire me. All right, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.